Finally, British campaigners are calling for cuts to Queen Elizabeth's multi-million-pound income in line with the rest of the nation. Anti-monarchy activists say that the current funding formula for the Queen, well, it has to be scrapped, as it means royal income keeps going up for another 2 years. They say that the Queen's finances should be reviewed every year rather than every 5 years, which is the current practice. Based on a 5-year formula devised in 2012, the British sovereign receives 15% of the profits of the Crown estate, a massive list of properties historically belonging to the royal family. The formula means that the monarch will receive more than £40 million this year. That is a raise of 11% over 2 years. Meanwhile, the British public has been facing massive cuts and pay freezes, with millions now barely affording basics. Mohammed Walji, our correspondent, joins us from London. Glad to have you, Mohammed Walji. You covered those protests, the austerity cuts that are being imposed, resulting in the protests, and of course this piece of news. Put it into context for us if you can.
Well, absolutely. The first thing to remember is the Queen's income is a taxpayer-funded income, and as you mentioned, it shot up 11% from 36.1 million to 40 million. Now, when I was at the protest yesterday, it was one of the largest anti-austerity demonstrations this country has seen for decades now, and one of the things I heard when I was talking to the people at the protest is they were angry at the Conservative government because they feel that they've just helped the wealthy remain wealthy and make them wealthier, in fact, and that the people who are struggling in this country are just having to struggle more. And this is a prime example of this. The Queen's income is more than £40 million, and it's going to keep rising, and there's no cuts to her, there's no cuts to any of the money that she's receiving. So for example, we spoke to there was someone who spoke to the royal family spokespeople, and they said they're going to resist any of these cuts because the royal palaces have a backlog of repair work that they need to do, when people in this country who are struggling just to get the basic necessities of food. You know, we had more than 1 million people visiting food banks in the last year in this country. And then when people hear things like the royal family need this money to improve their palaces, there's definitely anger towards that. And there's definitely a feeling that government need to review these policies and austerity measures and spending cuts on the people and focus on making the cuts to people who can afford it rather than the people who are struggling in this country every day.